All right. I think.
Wait, this is 79?
Yeah.
Wow, we're 10 episodes past the penultimate 69 episode.
All right. Video. I think is. I don't know why it's so slow. Anyway, video is running. Audio in 3, 2,
Hi, Mom.
1.
Welcome to episode 79 of the Degenerates Clubhouse.
Does your mom watch us?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say my mom does.
No, I think she's occasionally listens to it.
Oh, okay.
But not too often. And speaking of our parents, we missed last week's episode because we were in, I think that was Fair Play, Colorado.
Fair Play,
and
Colorado.
just the biggest, dumbest log cabin ever. It's like three bedroom, 2-story log cabin with like a hot tub and a steam shower and all this other crap. But not the greatest Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It was like ancient caveman times, huddled around the fire, but instead of the fire, it was our cell phones on data.
It only really affected one part of the trip, and even then, it was manageable. It wasn't like the end of the world, but getting the pay-per-view was a challenge.
I would have been pissed off had we missed UFC 273.
It was a great card.
It was a very good card, and I felt a personal connection to one of the fighters.
Yeah.
And that was Aljamain Sterling, who did successfully defend his title. And technically it was a title defense, but I saw him in the very first UFC show I ever went to live. That was on I think it was the fight weekend of McGregor Aldo. So it was huge fight weekend, like one of the probably still biggest fights in the history of the UFC. All these Irish fans like flew into Vegas for the fight. They were everywhere. It was just a circus sort of atmosphere. And they had fights on Saturday. That was when the main event went on. Then they had a Friday night main event headlined by Frankie Edgar and Chad Mendez. And then there was a Thursday card in this tiny little, it looked like they took a nightclub in Las Vegas and they're like, we're just going to turn this into a fight venue. So, you know, there was like a balcony area with a bar, but you were so close where like I think I could have thrown in the towel if Mario Yamasaki was reffing.
Yeah.
And yeah, on the prelims of that card was a very young and seemingly scared Aljamain Sterling. He did not look comfortable in octagon at all. He was just completely freaked out. And I've watched this guy develop all the way to fighting for the title, and you know, that was part of it. I've had some nice interactions with him on social media. But the other part where I felt very emotionally invested in this fight was, one, he won his title. He won the championship by taking an illegal knee to the head. So he won via DQ, which wasn't his fault at all.
The other guy did an illegal move, and the other guy got disqualified, and Aljo won by that means.
And then how would you describe, you're probably not as aware of it as I am, but just from your perspective, how would you describe the level of shit talk that Aljamain Sterling had to endure for the last, whatever it's been, 8 months from just pretty much all angles?
Jan went into the first fight like a pretty good favorite and pretty much dominated Aljo bell to bell until he got himself disqualified. So
that's also not true. That is a false narrative.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember, Aljamain Sterling won the first 2 rounds.
Okay.
Like this was he was a little bit compromised. That's going to come up later. He had some physical problems. So his plan, which was a fucking dumb one.
I was answering your question.
Hold on. He's like I'm going to just empty the gas tank and just like, you know, try to finish the fight early, which did not work. But there is this narrative, and goes along. Oh, Aljamain just dominated the whole fight. No, he won the first 2 rounds. Everyone forgets that. And then, yes, it went badly after that. He wasn't going to win that fight. Continue.
So, what I was saying, answering your question.
I'm defensive of
yes,
Aljo.
Yes, you are.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, you are. That being said, because it was looking like Peter Yan was dominating the fight and was going to go on to win, and he ended up losing.
He definitely was.
He ended up losing by DQ. A lot of the haters were saying Aljo didn't deserve the win. He won by fluke, blah, 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 blah. So that was kind of the sentiment by a lot of like casual MMA guys, like that just can't be objective about stuff. But they felt like he didn't win. He didn't rightfully win. So yeah, he had to endure. However, gap between that fight and now, he had to endure like people saying you are illegitimate champ, blah 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 blah, and it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't good for Aljo these last few months, and he just has to fend off all the shit talk and counter it with additional shit talk, I guess. And then the fight happened.
Well, here's the other thing, which is on top of having to deal with just a torrent, like a hurricane of shit talk, and some liberal racism and stuff mixed into this. Part of the reason Aljamain Sterling was so fucked up that first night, or the first fight rather, was he had herniated discs in his neck, which just can completely screw you up. And not only did he have herniated discs in his neck, it's these same two discs at the level that I have problems with. And his symptoms were a little bit more classical, so they were just like, okay, like we're going to do surgery. Like after he got illegal need, he was like, I can't keep working, going like this. Like, and he said he went and he got surgery and he got these disc replacements. But for me, I'm like, oh fuck, like, is he gonna be able to come back from this? Is it, and the fact that he kept saying he was doing well and he was so much better, and it was like not even fighting, just like quality of life was so much better for him. He could bone his fiance pain free. I mean, like, that's
Did
what
he say that on social media? Did you catch that?
He said that in an interview.
I was like, did he DM that to you?
He said that in an interview.
Did he?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah, all right, Aljo. There is light at the end of the tunnel for Aljo.
At least he could bone now.
Yeah, maybe I'll get to bone Aljo's fiance one day.
Whoa.
Free. What?
Holy shit. Is she hot?
Dime piece, but
really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh.
Why did you say that so surprised?
I don't know.
Very attractive, Aljo. I'm not trying to bone your fiance. We're still friends. It's cool, but
there's a joke in there, but I didn't want to. I was gonna say, is she a big white girl?
No, no, she's not. I don't know what she might be mixed or, but yeah, very very.
So she's hot, awesome.
Yeah,
so you want to bone his wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever.
No, once she's his wife, then off the table.
Got it.
Fair game until then, Aljo.
Yeah.
But fighters always say, "Oh, I'm so much better. Oh, this is the greatest camp of my life." I'm feeling amazing shape. So you never really know how they're actually doing until the fight. And yeah, proof was in the puddings. Getting to see Aljo go out and win a 5-round fight, when I think every analyst, everyone I heard talking about the fight was like, oh, the only way he can win is if he just manages to pull off a submission. But wasn't the prettiest fight, and by his own admission, it wasn't even his best fight. But I was like, I took a little inspiration, a little bit of hope from that fight, and just to put on a bow on the level of shit talk that he had to deal with during the fight. The entire fucking crowd was chanting for his opponent.
Yeah.
His Russian-born, non-English speaking opponent. And it's like, wow, like how much do the MMA fans have to hate you, where right now they would chant for the Russian fighter? Except there's one twist. This fight took place in Florida.
Yeah. Just to double back on the fight, I too I've always liked Aljo from the get go, but I am not as hard. Like Aaron's a bigger fan than I am for sure. Like if you had to put like levels of fandom to Aljo,
he's been my favorite fighter for a while.
So, but that being said, Aljo is a guy I follow. I wanted him to win. I did bet against him, unfortunately, on a parlay. I had like a 4 or 5.
Sorry.
I had like a 4 or 5 fight parlay. That being said, I was more than happy to have lost the parlay just so Aljo could win and prove the the haters wrong, and he won. It was a very, very close fight. It wasn't the most exciting fight, but Peter Yan's a fucking beast, and up until then, Peter Yan was running through just about everybody else. So the fact that Aljo was able to win and nullify and and good for Aljo. Congratulations. I'm a big fan of Matt Serra and Aljo's a Serra BJJ whatever practitioner. I don't know what belt he's at. Congratulations. Moving on to Florida man. Florida man. Police, Florida babysitter arrested after spitting child in a dryer. Mom of the Year candidate. Lake County, Florida. A woman was...
The mom for leaving the kid with that babysitter?
What? Yeah. You have to know. You have to do your research.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of Florida people?
You have to. Yeah.
I mean, by that logic, I think just all moms should take their kids and leave Florida.
Yeah. Lake County, Florida. A woman was arrested after she allegedly put a 4-year-old child she was babysitting into a dryer and turned it on. WRBW reports Amber Chapman, 35, put the young boy in the dryer alongside some towels. At least he had
company. Yeah, he had a little bit of padding.
He had company.
Did she use fabric softener? What was the rinse cycle? I need specifics here.
The child was later brought to a local hospital on February 1st, where he told adults she had put him in the machine and he went round and round. He also told his parents he was in a lot of pain afterward.
Yeah.
Medical staff noted the boy had bruises on his back, ears, and face.
Jesus.
Chapman was arrested April 8th and booked on a charge of aggravated child abuse. Very, very short and sweet article. Pretty fucked up. I think as kids, we've all like mischievously have wanted to go and put ourselves in the dryer and see what happens.
Not once.
No,
not once.
I've always wanted to try it, but to have your babysitter be like, "Sorry, kid, you have no choice. Hang on tight."
I mean, what level? Granted, look, I'm not blaming this on the kid. There is no level of childhood fuckery that could make that okay. But I'm like, what did he do where she's like, all right, that's it, you're going in the dryer.
You're going into timeout.
That is a bad timeout spot. It's like, can I just go to my room and play video games, please?
Moving dryer.
What was it? I would like to imagine that it was like one of those laundromat dryers, so there's at least a window that he could look out of.
Yeah. Because I would say some dryers don't have that. Like the older ones don't have that. Like the newer ones all do. The ones here in my apartment building don't have the window.
Oh yeah, most home dryers are not gonna have that. So I'm like, oh, is he just in the dark, like going around with the towels?
Help.
I wonder how long he was in there too. Like, I want more specifics with this story.
Yeah,
hopefully that comes out.
No, the article that was it. That was it. The article was very, very short.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully more specifics come out
from the story.
Yeah.
It's funny sometimes to read the comments of the people in the article. I'm gonna go ahead and we normally don't do this, but I was just laughing. One user RB writes, "Not gonna lie, I take Amber for a spin. She's not attractive, but she's not ugly. She's just kind of plain Jane looking."
I mean, you know what? Like, if she was dressed up for a date and not taking a headshot for having, or mugshot rather, for putting a kid in dryer, maybe she'd be a little bit more attractive.
The user Ghost of John Smith writes, "A 35-year-old babysitter. Here's your sign." Florida for the win, writes another user. Yeah, don't do that. Don't put your kids in a dryer. That's not fun for them. They don't like it. Moving on to the world.
Wait, hold on. Oh. There's two things. One, you got to describe her a little bit more accuracy, and two,
I'll let you describe her then.
All right, I'm reading I've tried to pull up to see maybe if a separate article
of the same woman.
Yeah, about the same incident had more details, and it did not. All it says was that he was examined at the Children's Advocacy Center, according to the police. They talk about the injuries again, and then it says the team was unable to determine if being placed in the dryer caused the boy's injuries. Like,
oh wow,
what?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you could probably connect the dots on that one.
There has not been enough research to pinpoint if those injuries were caused by dryer damage.
Yeah. But the team told the I think they're worried that he's just making the whole thing up.
You think?
Well,
No.
and it says, but the team told the police that the injuries to his back, face, and forehead and ears were consistent with what he had told the doctors had happened.
We're consistent.
Yeah. So, because that to me that sounds like they're like maybe he just made this up and something else happened. But yeah, as far as the woman, like she.
The story develops.
You know, like when there's a group of 3 girls, like there's always the hot one.
Not always. Usually.
Relatively, there's always the hot one.
Or a hotter one. Like the one that's doable.
Well, it's a sliding scale, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It's a bell curve.
And then this girl is like the middle one. That's just kind of there. That's what she looks like. She's like just like you said. So she's a is that brown hair? Like white girl, like brown, like shoulder length hair.
How about this? Like if based on Whittier College standards of girls at Whittier College, what would she be on a 1 to 10 scale?
Oh, the Whittier scale.
The Whittier scale.
She's probably like a 6 or 7 on the Whittier scale.
I was gonna say 7 or 8, but okay, all right.
Yeah, so like 7 on the Whittier scale.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up that we have a Whittier College scale of girls. I don't know. Maybe girls have gotten hotter over the years at Whittier College, but when we went,
no, it was not the best.
Slim pickings.
Do you ever just wish like, man, maybe I should have just gone to Arizona State? I mean,
dude, I got accepted to some San Diego schools, and I was like, nah, Whittier College is closer, and they're giving me more money. But I could have gone with like a bunch of blonde dumb chicks in San Diego.
That might have been the way to go.
Hindsight is 20/20, sir. Moving on to the world of
none of the girls at Whittier were a 10 out of 10.
No. Even at Whittier, none of them were 10s out of 10s. Moving on to the world of Reddit. Reddit question number 1. What is the fetish you strictly have for porn but wouldn't act on in person?
Am I going first?
Yeah, because I really haven't thought a whole... Go ahead. Yes, please.
So... There comes a time.
Here's where we find some dark shit.
Here's my little preamble.
Okay.
I think like for me, at a certain point, like I will start to get like desensitized from porn a little bit. Or I'm like, it's just like people fight. Okay, like my brain's like not excited by that anymore. Yeah. And so that's when I'm like, okay, like we're gonna find something a little bit rougher, little bit more rowdy, like not like There's some of the like I forget what it's called, like Gonzo or whatever, where it's just I'm like this is just a fucking abuse. It's not even borderline abuse. Like that never is really appealing to me. Like if a girl's just like crying and screaming, I'm like this feels really wrong. I don't want to see that.
Hey, don't fetish shame, you fucking dick.
But there's like a level like a notch below that when I get desensitized to porn. I'm like let me see if we can find it. You know where it's like.
You got to find your spot. You got to find your...
Yeah, it's like part porn, like part like WWE grudge match.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. And then it's right after I watch that, and then I'm like, oh, what did I just do?
So you're saying you're watching like you're looking for wrestling porn? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I'm looking for pornography with the sort of intensity and animosity of a wrestling match.
Oh, okay.
Where like it's like you're like, did like he call her a bitch in the car or like fuck her sister? So like, what is going on? Like there's some anger here.
I thought you were looking at like someone doing like a DDT on the bitch or something.
No.
Like pile drive a bitch or something.
No, I'm just talking about like aggressive like rough sex where like one or both of them probably comes out with some bruises.
That's Aaron's fetish. To me, that's Tuesday.
But then after like that's what I was saying. After I watch that, I'm just like, oh, why did I do that? Okay. And then that's usually my cue to like not watch porn for like a week or 2.
Oh, dude, wow, you and I are completely different with people with that. Yeah, I was gonna say, like I said, that's like my Tuesday, and then Wednesday it's something different, and Thursday is something different. Anyway,
but yeah, no, in person, I would not want to hurt my partner.
You've never just gently choke the chick. How about smack a girl's ass? You ever smack a girl's ass?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
All right. No, the choking thing doesn't really like do it for me.
Try it.
No, thank you.
It might have. What if she enjoyed it? What if she took her hands or your hands and put them around her neck? She said, just squeeze it a little bit.
Pulled a ponytail once.
That's also. But it's still kind of cool though. I like doing that.
But this is what I was trying to say. I would not want to A, hurt my partner, and B, that would just be the like saddest moment in my life if I managed to legitimately injure myself having sex. And
so you're more worried about injuring yourself, not so much your partner.
Did you not listen to what I just said? I led. Number 1 was injuring the partner. That's why it was number 1.
Okay.
And then I said number 2. Hey, Jamie, can you play the clip back that I just said?
Jamie, we don't have a Jamie. I'm the Jamie bitch.
You are the Jamie bitch.
I am the Jamie bitch.
Second was like it's a real possibility that I would injure myself.
Pull a hammy or something.
For sure. Because I'm not out of that territory that our friend Aljamain Sterling was with, where it's like it could be a little precarious, doing any sort of vigorous physical activity. So yeah, that is a consideration as well.
The fetish that I have for porn that I haven't acted on in person is, just like Aaron's talking about, like you go through phases of different things. Mine, I have this. I shouldn't say recently, but I had this like black chick fetish, like black chick porn, but specifically.
You're saying you wouldn't do that in person?
I haven't acted on it in person. Like I don't pursue.
Wait, what's the question?
What is a fetish you strictly have for porn but wouldn't act on in person?
Yeah, so you're saying you wouldn't do it?
I haven't like gone after black chicks.
But would you?
Yeah, but I just haven't.
Okay. I got confused because I was remembering the question. Like, is this the episode where you find out Mondo's racist against black chicks?
No. How about this? I would if the opportunity like present. Dude, there was a black chick in at Whittier College that was kind of flirty, kind of into me, but I never, for whatever dumb reason, I never pursued it. I probably could have, but it was just I didn't do it. No big deal. It happens. Girls flirt with good old Mondo here and there, and I'm just like, I'm not in the mood. That requires effort.
Wow.
But yeah, dude, I was watching this porn the other day with this beautiful black chick with amazing rack, and she was getting railed. It was pretty cool. I forget her name. I should have saved it, but I don't remember her name.
What if hypothetically Aljo's fiance was like, he's not paying attention to me now that he's the undisputed champ?
Is she black?
I told you. Here's a photo.
Let's see. She doesn't look black, but yeah, she's hot as shit. Dang, that chick is hot. Good job, Aljo. Congratulations, dude.
Well, that's why when you ask, like I said, I think she's mixed.
Oh, well, mixed is fine too. I'm just saying I haven't. Yeah, she's a dime and a half, like you said.
So would you?
Yeah, I would.
All right, and then I would beat the fuck out of you on behalf of Aljo. On his honor.
Everyone was just setting that up as a trap.
No, I wouldn't.
Some of the answers from users on Reddit. User presentation 3 writes, outside sex. It looks hot, but in reality, outside's full of bugs and shit. I've done that.
No, I'd still do it. Beach sex, I would not do. Fuck that.
I've done beach sex, but we were in a tent on a beach. Does that count? It wasn't like in the sand where sand's in my butthole.
Yeah, it's still a little precarious because sand always gets in. Sand will find a way, but no, that's a lot better than on the actual beach.
Yeah, and I'd be worried like if it was like beach sex, if there's like obviously a beach, it's a public beach, so people are probably walking by, unless like you have a private beach somewhere.
Outdoor sex, man, fucking live a little. Stop being scared of bugs. You know what? If that little caterpillar wants to join in, that's fine.
There's another answer that's similar, and it's not the same answer. User Pepper Omelet writes, probably fucking in public places. I tried to fuck my boyfriend on a hiking trail once, but I kept thinking there was someone coming, but there actually wasn't, and neither was I.
Well get off the trail, you dumb fucker. Yeah, don't try to fuck on the actual trail. What? That is like the worst.
User OK till 1177.
You know, you're also. I wouldn't fuck in the middle of a busy intersection.
yeah,
That
with
sounds
cars.
like no shit. Of course, just get off the path.
This other user writes, "Gangbangs are fun to fantasize about, but I would never participate as it terrifies me. I would not want to be a part of a gangbang.
As the banger or the bangee?
The banger.
Because
Like
this sounds like it was written by someone who would be a bangee.
a chick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. Some guys are okay with like tag teaming a chick, and that's not my.
Dude, even threesomes, I think overrated with any configuration.
Says the one guy that's had a threesome.
Yeah, it was just too much going on.
I don't know. I think I would try it, but it wouldn't be with. It would be with two chicks, and it wouldn't be with girls that I actually had feelings for. Like I could, it had to be chicks that I was like, this is just fucking. This is just gonna be.
I mean,
boning.
If your goal was to simultaneously ruin a relationship and a friendship, then yeah, do it with two girls.
I don't know, because some people are like that, like into like the open relationships and like. Dude, I see that shit on the dating apps. I see like girls that are like, "Oh, I'm in an open relationship, not looking."
Interesting. Which dating app is this?
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking people that are into like having like I have a significant other, but we're open to boning other people in 3 ways and 5 ways and all this shit. Anyway, last one I'll read. User John Hendo 127 writes, "Swapping, not necessarily group swinging, but like couple swapping in the same room." Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I couldn't do that. Again, not with somebody I gave a shit about. Be like, hey, I got this steady chick I'm banging, and we're just kind of banging, and then all of a sudden we're like, hey, there's another couple, and they want to do a little swapperoo. That might be kind of, maybe. Reddit question number 2. As soon as my computer unfreezes, what is the one thing America is best at? Aaron.
Heart surgery.
Heart. Aaron has to go technical. Heart surgery.
Well, so overall, for a first world country, our healthcare system is a fucking disaster. It is a dumpster fire. Like, our infant mortality rates are really bad. Like, our patient outcomes are really bad. I mean, there is this idea that a lot of people have. It's like, well, we've got the best doctors in the world, and they think that just because that's what they've heard. But I'm sorry to break it to you, we don't.
Yeah.
On the whole,
I feel like there's other countries that their specialists are superior to American.
Well, some specialties, but it's mostly they're like general practitioners are way better. Because the problem we have in our country is our doctors come out with so much debt that they have to go into specialties to make a lot of money. So like the best and the brightest are going into these very particular specialties like brain surgery, heart surgery, because that's where you can make the most money. But it's like the dummies at the end of the class are becoming like pediatricians and general care practitioners and whatnot. But on that token, if you need a quadruple bypass, say you just keep drinking hard at those breweries and things don't go well, and you need to get a triple bypass, there is nowhere in the world you would rather be than Cleveland, Ohio.
They have good.
The Cleveland Clinic is like best in the world, hands down. When like the sultan of whatever country in the Middle East who's like filthy rich needs a heart surgery, they will actually come to Cleveland.
Wow.
They have like a huge fancy hotel set up. I was gonna say next to the hospital, but like the hospital it spans like all over downtown Cleveland, and they have all these satellite campuses outside of Cleveland. It's massive. And I still remember, you remember Robin Williams before he took his own life.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really complicated heart surgery,
Mm.
and he just said he's like I woke up and they said you're in Cleveland, and I said why? But it was like, yeah, they brought him to Cleveland because the Cleveland Clinic is, and they have many pieces of signage and banners and posters saying that they're the number one like heart clinic in the world. And it's like, that was the first thing that popped in my head because I Had many trips to downtown Cleveland, and there were always these Cleveland clinics banners saying we're like #1 for heart surgery.
So they have a good marketing team. Good job.
No, but they're also the best. That hospital was amazing. It's
Or
like,
their marketing team fooled you into thinking they're the #1 in the world.
Mondo, don't look. Cleveland doesn't have that much going from it. Don't try to take that from them too.
Okay. Good job, Cleveland. You're #1 in whatever surgery, heart surgery.
Look, they still haven't emotionally recovered from LeBron James leaving for the second time.
Ooh.
So just I mean just let them have that, Mondo.
Burn. I don't really have a good answer for the one thing America's best at. I guess we're good at coming up with like fucked up concoctions of food that taste good and like going down your gullet. Thanks for interrupting me a second time. We're good at like coming up with like fucked up shit to eat. It's not good for you. Like we're good at gluttony. That's what we're good at. America's best at gluttony.
That's a great answer.
Like that place in Vegas, I forget what it's called. But like the whole idea is all their food is like super fucked up, like Heart Attack Grill, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, Mondo, our answers kind of go together.
Yeah, exactly.
We're a capitalist country, supply and demand, motherfuckers.
Yeah. That place you go there in Vegas and you have the option to weigh yourself before going in, and then after your meal, if you've weighed yourself in, you can weigh yourself again. And I think if you've gained a certain certain percentage, they give you a discount on your food. Some weird fucked up.
Jesus.
Like it's fucked up. And all their burgers are like they have one called like the quadruple bypass burger or some shit like that. Like I've never eaten there. I'm curious to try it, but I know I couldn't handle the food. But it's all like chili covered and cheese whiz and like onion rings and fried shit and yeah, it's just, and then on top of that, to make it enticing to go in, like all the speaking of gluttony, all the waitresses are like fucking like dressed as nurses, but they're all fucking hot. They're all like model looking, like sexy ass bitches showing their ass cheeks and shit. And if you don't finish your meal, like whatever it is you buy, like they spank you. So it's gluttony 101. Like going to that restaurant is like all your senses are going in overload. So that's what we're good at, I guess, is just come up like even think about our fast food restaurants, like Jack in the Box has a late night menu. Like what does that tell you about? Like they're like fuck health, fuck eating healthy shit. It's all about what is the most stoner, fucked up, greasy, fatty food that's gonna make you go, that looks so good. I'm going to eat it, put it in my mouth, and then you feel like dog shit. Like we feel like absolute dog shit afterwards. I went to you ever heard of the place called Pink's in Hollywood?
I've heard of it, never been.
So the draw is like they have really good hot dogs and they have like different variations of hot dogs. That's like their staple thing. But in addition to it, it's like there's been many celebrities and Hollywood types and musicians and artists and what's not, and they go to the Pink's. They take a picture, they autograph it, they put it in the wall. So, like, if you go to Pink's, there's, like, a wall of just, like, famous celebs that have gone to Pink's just to go through the experience. That being said, like for the, I guess, the regular artists that go to that place, they'll actually, like, name a hot dog or something after them. Like, there's, like, I forget all of them. I couldn't tell you. But there was one called, like, the Ozzy Osbourne something, Heart Attack Burger or whatever. And it's basically like a burrito tortilla that they then take 2 hot dog franks, split lengthwise, put that on there, and then I'm going to forget ingredients for sure, but chili, cheese, onion rings, jalapenos, onion, pastrami, a bunch of other shit that I'm forgetting. So they just fucking pack this meat burrito thing with just like all of it sounds good individually, but in this concoction, and I ate it. Once finishing that meal, I felt like my pore, like there was oil coming out of my pores. I felt like, ugh. But we're good at gluttony. We're good at gluttonous foods.
But here's the crazy part, Mondo. That was the answer you arrived at.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you've actually experienced the gluttony that this country is capable of. Like you've been in relatively healthy states.
Uh-huh.
Because Colorado, I think might actually be the healthiest state in the whole country.
Uh-huh.
and I mean California is not even close to top 10. So here's what do you think is the most obese state in the country?
I don't know the answer, but I'm gonna guess that whatever there's gonna be a parallel to state fair, like number of state fairs held.
That's possible. Take a guess. What do you?
I'm thinking something in the Midwest, like, no, because there's gonna be a lot of farmers. So I don't know. That's Michigan. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know.
That's actually one of the few non-southern states that's in the top 10.
Ooh,
Michigan is 8, with 36% of their population ranking as obese.
okay.
So I'm just going to give you a hint. Like almost all of them are in the South, and I guess you've probably never been to the South,
Yeah,
where it's like
I would have guessed that because they're all eating barbecue and like sweet tea
there's
gallons
tons of sugar, but
yeah.
everything's fried. It's all fried. Fried this, fried that.
So yeah, I was kind of right. Whatever has the most state fairs.
I don't know, because there's a ton of state fairs in the Midwest, but most of the Midwest states aren't as obese. I mean, they're up there, but
I'm thinking like deep fried Twinkies and
so
all that shit.
Mississippi is number 1
Ooh,
with 40.8% of the population in Mississippi coming in as obese.
ugh.
West Virginia is 2 with 39.7. Arkansas 3 with 37.4. Oklahoma, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and then Michigan, the one proud Rust Belt state sticking in there, Louisiana, South Carolina.
But I'm willing to bet, like, yes, they're the most obesity in those states. I'm willing to bet they have some bomb fucking food, but it's not something that you want to eat like every day, all the time. You know what I mean? It's like you have that. Go down south and have a dinner once a year, and you'll be okay.
Dude, it's so good, and you kind of get acclimated. Because remember, I lived in North Carolina. Like you sort of get acclimated to it, where you're like, oh yeah, this is just what food's like, and then you go eat other places. You're like, oh my god, what was?
Yeah.
Where because it does taste really really good. Southern food's delicious, but
Not good
Not
for
the-
you.
here's the you know what? Here's the equally crazy fucked up part. I was correct. Colorado comes in just in terms of obesity as the fittest state in the entire country, including Hawaii.
Yeah, because people go on hikes, they go ski, they go snowboard, they go on jogs out here. It's not uncommon that you go to any park, anywhere, and there's people like doing some kind of fitness thing.
Yeah, the state still has an obesity rate of 23.8%.
Here, Colorado?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It just says like the United States in general is just we're all a bunch of fatties.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like almost 1 out of every 4 people is obese in Colorado. That might be right. Because we're also, I mean, there's a lot of places that probably aren't as fit as Denver. I bet Denver might be a little bit of an outlier, but like once you get farther away.
Yeah. Some of the answers on Reddit to that question, user Elden Ringworm, good name, buddy, writes, starting conversations with complete strangers without the need for alcohol to do it. Is that what we're good at?
That's more of an East Coast thing. Yeah, that's funny. The California guys like, what the fuck are you talking? You don't talk.
Yeah,
to
no,
people.
from Southern California, having come from there and you've lived there, is like going to a random bar and just striking up a conversation with a random person is not. You don't do that. Like you don't do that because they give you like glares like, why the fuck are you talking to me? And
New Yorkers in particular would just start talking to you out of the blue just because they're bored.
yeah?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool though. I like that. I like that kind of community stuff. Anyway, user Ovandas Nucci, some fucking dumb name, producing media content. The U.S. is incredible at producing content and are unmatched in that regard.
True, at least in terms of volume. Although fucking South Korea catching up.
Yeah, they're doing a good job too. User running through life writes variety in national parks. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
We do have some amazing national parks. Well, it's just because our country's so big. There's so much variety both in our terrain and our population.
Yeah. Last one I'll read.
America is filled with people of all backgrounds and ethnicities and colors, and most of them are fat.
Last one I'll read. User Maddie77 writes, consumption, and I mean that in a good way. My wife and I visit the U.S. often, and the food is plentiful. The insane amount of craft beers and the amazing service are worth the trip alone. Also, everyone is so friendly. We often make friends just by virtue of sitting down at a bar. Wow, they've gone to the right parts of the state, apparently, these foreigners, because, yeah, they don't go to SoCal. They went everywhere else. But yeah, we are a consuming country. We consume. We're fucking
Yeah, it's that capitalism doesn't work unless you have the consuming end.
right. And that was it for Reddit. We're now gonna go to our feature, Binge and Purge. Take it away, Aaron.
Yep. Today we're reviewing Moon Knight on Disney Plus. Moon Knight is the story of a Guatemalan-born actor named Oscar who paid his dues in Hollywood and is suddenly getting all the roles, like every single one of them. Just to keep track, since 2018, Oscar Isaac has been in all 3 Star Wars movies, X-Men Apocalypse, Annihilation, Dune, Into the Spider-Verse. I didn't know he was in Into the Spider-Verse, Moon Knight, and most recently, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, starring Nicolas Cage, which is a 5 out of 5 on the all right on the Nick Cage meter.
Whoa, is that supposed to be Nick Cage?
I don't know any of Nick Cage's catchphrases. It's just like him like yelling loudly. But I didn't want to blow out your the earphones.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to do a muted Nick Cage, which just doesn't work. It didn't feel authentic. You know what? Unlike fellow overmarketed actor Chris Pratt, Oscar Isaac can play more than one character, so it may be a while before audiences start to get Oscar Isaac fatigue. This is on full display in Moon Knight, where he plays a schizophrenic superhero with a thing for justice. Like basically Bruce Wayne if he had a fetish for Egyptian gods instead of bats and was like maybe 10% more crazy.
Yeah.
But he actually, you know what? That's interesting. Do you think Moon Knight is more crazy or less crazy than Batman? Because it's like, yeah, he's schizophrenic, but I think both of his personalities might be more well-adjusted than Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, but he's also got multiple personalities, so that's kind of kooky. Bruce Wayne at least knows he's the same.
Yeah, he only has the one personality, but that one personality is, pun intended, batshit crazy.
He's just a dark.
When you get it?
Yeah.
Batshit crazy?
No, I get it. He's just a dark, haunted guy is typically what Batman is.
With a weird thing for recruiting child soldiers and making them wear really skimpy outfits while fighting like incredibly overpowered villains.
So what's crazy about that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Moon Knight is a lot of fun early on as they play with Moon Knight's 2 distinct personalities. One is a shy British gift shop worker, and the other is an American mercenary with blood figuratively and literally on his hands. The real rub is when the 2 personalities aren't aware of each other, and hilarity ensues, as well as frequent murders. It's still a Disney Plus Marvel film, so like they try to make it like fun and light. But I'm like, holy shit, this dude is killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
He does not have the Batman 1 rule at all. But while Oscar Isaac dutifully carries the show on his back like a slave transporting rocks during the building of the Greek pyramid of Giza, do you like that simile?
Yep.
Get it? Because it's like it's like backbreaking, tiresome, kind of thankless work, which is probably kind of what I feel like his time on Moon Knight was, because that is pretty much where the end of the show's where the show's allure ended for me. Yeah.
Blasphemous.
Well, you know what? I didn't think there were any other standout performances. Ethan Hawke was fine as the role of generic Marvel bad guy with a twisted sense of morality. But overall, something about his performance fell a little flat for me. The pacing of the show also felt off to me. Like, they couldn't really decide if they wanted it to be a 6-episode show or just a really, really long movie. Granted, there weren't nearly enough super slow-mo shots in falling rain for this to be Zack Snyder territory, but the individual episodes often lacked an arc the way I'd expect, which, like I said, made it feel like it was just a long movie, and somehow it felt like rushed, but also really slow to me at the same time, in parts. And finally, plot-wise, this feels very Marvel. Bad guy who's really just a twisted version of the good guy tries to do bad thing. Good guy has to stop them and hope the winning personality of the lead actor carries the series, because there really isn't much plot beyond that. There are still 3 episodes left. airing on Wednesdays, so I guess it's possible they could turn it around. But I think what I'm saying is, at this point, I'm expecting more from Marvel. Like, if this was the first Marvel series to come out in Disney Plus, I would probably rate it a little bit higher and be more forgiving. But I'm like, come on, guys, like you gotta figure this out at this point, because I don't think this is like nearly as good as a show like Peacemaker or even the Daredevil Netflix, show that came years earlier with much smaller of a budget. So bottom line, I think it's worth a watch just for Oscar Isaac's performance, but I still give it a CGI'd 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, that's just like my opinion, man.
Yeah.
You can have your own opinion, and that's fine.
It happens. I rate it a lot higher. I'd say it's a strong 8.5 as far as, like for me, Marvel stuff. I think it rates, to me, still better than like WandaVision. Like I still think of them like in scales. I still look at reference the other ones and like where it stands.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this is one of my more, because of the violence. I love the gratuitous violence. Again, you've mentioned Oscar Isaac's performance. I went like on an Oscar Isaac rabbit hole thing, just like looking up his.
Is that one of your Pornhub searches?
Yeah, Oscar
Isaac rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole. You mentioned all those movies he was in. I went and watched what was the movie called? Inside Llewyn Davis, or something about Llewyn Davis, where he plays like a musician, and just his range. The dude has amazing range, and it's on the forefront here in this series because he has to play again the European dude and the Mark Spector dude. So he has to be able to play multiple roles in the same plot line and the same storyline, and that to me was like, wow, this dude has fucking for sure range in his acting. By the way, I didn't know he was Latin. He's Latin. His name is like Oscar.
Well, that's was it, Guatemalan born.
I had no idea. I thought he was like an Arab dude, like a Middle Eastern Arab dude, I guess. But amazing performance. Where was I going with this? Yeah, no, I gave it a much better rating. Again, it was like Aaron said, kind of like a Batman, but like a Marvel version of a Batman with more gore. The story felt like the pacing was pretty quick. Like it kept my interest. There was no like real so far. There's not been like a real lull in the moment. There's always been some kind of action.
Yeah, it's a Marvel. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, like some of them took a while to develop. Like look at WandaVision, took forever to figure. You're kind of figuring out what the fuck's going on here, and then you're kind of like, oh, okay, do I like it? Do I not like it? Like even Captain America, Winter Soldier, whatever, Soldier and Falcon, like that was good, but it was like, did you need to make? You could have just made a movie. It was kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit hard to say without seeing the last 3 episodes, but if you're just comparing it to the other Disney Plus, Marvel series, like I don't think it is nearly as good as Loki was.
Loki was kind of it had an original story, like a different retelling.
Had some really good special effects. That is actually one thing I noticed. There were parts where like I just don't think the VFX team had enough time. Like in particular, there is a chase scene where there were some of the shots were like so blatantly, at least to my eye, were so blatantly CGI that it kind of like took me out of it.
Yeah.
For a second. But sorry, it was a little bit of a tangent. Well, what I was trying to say is like I do think it is definitely one of the better Marvel series, but after sort of seeing them all play out and again, like I said, I was a little bit more forgiving in the beginning. I'm like, okay, this is the first attempt at doing a series. Now I'm like, dude, you guys really should be able to do better than this. But I think it was like leagues better than Hawkeye for sure.
So like,
fucking hated that show.
So like watching porn, Aaron has got desensitized to
could be
to Marvel
could be
content.
Yeah, and you know what? And this show is a lot rougher.
Aaron,
we already said there's some blood and gore and murder, and you know what? It's still not doing it for me.
Aaron wants to see the gangbang in Marvel. That's when he's gonna finally be like, okay, now we're seeing something new. I like
3 Spider-Man, 1 cup.
Oh my God! Holy moly, dude! Dude.
Oh my god, they would break the internet.
What if they did it? What if they did a multiverse where all of Spider-Man's side pieces chicks were like an orgy with? Never mind, forget it. I don't know where I was going with that.
And we know what Mondo will be googling later today.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, I think this was I like I'm gonna definitely watch the end of this. Like I had to force myself to watch the end of Hawkeye. I think this is better than it's probably better than Captain America and Winter Soldier. Again, it really I got to see how it plays out. And I really I applauded them in WandaVision to for trying something different and really getting into character development, which you don't really get as much of in this show.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point, Mondo, as much as I'm saying the pacing is a little bit off in this show, in hindsight, the pacing of WandaVision was like, what the fuck were you guys doing?
Yeah.
How did you think this was going to work?
So that was it. That was it for Binge and Purge. Unless is there anything else you want to add to the episode? We are now 50 minutes in.
I'll recommend one other show just for Greg Davidson.
Uh-oh.
I hadn't watched anime for a while, and on a previous episode, I think I talked briefly about how a medication I was taking had fucked up my hormones. At least I think I think that may have sort of leveled itself out now because I just stopped taking it. So it is possible. What I'm saying is that this recommendation is sort of slightly colored by a hormonal imbalance. But I hadn't watched any anime for quite a while. I was on a little bit of an anime kick.
So what'd you think about My Little Pony?
I'm trying to remember. So I hadn't seen My Little Pony until I was 3 or 4. But I remember there was one episode where they had to fight some kid who then turned into a dragon, and I was 3 years old, and I'm like, this shit is scary. Oh my god, these little. Oh no, you're talking about My Little Ponies. That was Care Bears. Dang it.
You confused them.
I did. No, so I guess I never watched. I like I like Care Bears because I felt like they're kind of like borderline superheroes. They had little powers.
Oh, I got a shirt for you.
They could do the Care Bear stare.
I got a cool shirt.
But yeah, I didn't rock with My Little Pony. I don't think. Maybe I did. But no, I was talking about Japanese animation. And so Grego, if you're listening, this recommendation is just for you. There is a show called Your Lie in April, which your lie, your space LIE, you told a lie.
Okay.
In April, as in the month.
Okay.
Or a girl, we don't know.
Ooh.
In April.
Ooh.
Oh, no, it's not one of those type of anime. It's actually for an anime that's not sexualized at all.
Boo.
There's plenty of those for you to Google too, Mondo. I'll send you links. But yeah, this is a very, I think this is what they call slice of life. There's no real fighting or powers or any of that. It is the story of a young piano prodigy who sort of suffered a tragedy in his life, and that has led to him avoiding music altogether. And when he does try to play the piano, he can't hear the notes. And it's they get very metaphorical at the show where he's playing and he feels like he's drowning underwater. It's a whole thing. And then but a young but sort of tragic in a way violinist with a flair for life comes in and reconnects him with his love for music. I'm like wow, Japanese animation. I didn't know this was in your range. Holy crap! But it is a very very emotional show. And there's a lot of really really beautiful classical music all throughout it. I don't know if that is going to be your normal fare, Greg. But if you're looking for an anime that you haven't seen, this was just actually a very very well done story. So, Your Lie in April.
I had, as you are aware, Aaron, I'm telling a degenerate land what happened this week. I had Eric Leiser in town with me. And we planned this months ago for him to come in and spend the week on the couch, with the understanding that, hey man, I still have to work during the day, so let's try to we're not gonna rage every day.
You understood that? Did he understand that?
Not so much.
Shocking.
Picked him up from the airport Monday and went to a brewery, which was fine. That was kind of on me, but we ended up being up to 1 a.m, after getting back here,
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, same. We were up till one. He wanted to go to some open mic stuff, which was fine. Up till 1 o'clock in the morning. Still had to work the next.
He gets manic late at night.
And then Wednesday we went to the hockey game. Or before we went to hockey, we went to an amazing meal in downtown Denver called Cholon, Cholon. Amazing food.
That sounds like a French restaurant run by Mexicans.
It was a Vietnamese fusion inspired, or Asian inspired fusion. Amazing food. Amazing food. It's all on my Instagrams and I think my Facebook somewhere. Amazing food. Then went to the hockey game. We got our ass beat by the Avalanche 9-3. It was not.
I thought Colorado was the wait.
They are the number one team in the NHL.
Wait. When you said we, what team are you talking about?
The Kings.
Oh, okay.
The Kings.
That's
I'm a
confused.
Kings fan.
You're like, we got our ass beat by the Avalanche. I'm like, I think we are the Avalanche. I don't really follow hockey, but
I'm a Kings fan. Liser's a Kings fan ish, and he's never gone to a live hockey game. So but the seats were amazing. The experience amazing. The people were cool. They weren't like talking shit too bad to us, even though we got our asses beat 9-3. Fun game, but we got our ass beat again. And then we were up pretty late that day. I think we went to bed like 11 or maybe midnight. Thursday, did some more open mics, and I forget what we did.
How did those go?
I think Eric has pretty good material. He just needs to continue working on him and tweaking him and do what you're supposed to do with comedy. A lot of the other open micers that we saw a few of them that were like we would see one guy at show A and then we'd see him again at show B. It's like if you're going to work on a material, don't do the same material exactly the same. Like tweak something, like make a change, add a line, take a line out, time it differently. It felt like the guys were doing the same cookie cutter thing that they did for those guys that did the repeat. Like it was like, I heard the same shit yesterday. Like,
I think for some of them, it might just be getting like stage time and just getting
it is. But if you're gonna do that, unless you feel very, very strongly about that joke being exactly right, if you think that joke is a finished product and now you're just kind of going through the motions of doing it a couple extra times, then perfect. But some of these guys were like doing cookie cutter. It was like, it didn't really land the first time, dude. Like, you know what I mean?
It's open mic, right?
Yeah. No. I'm just, again, I could never do stand-up comedy. I hate sounding like I'm this professional critique guy, but I'm a student of comedy at best. I'm not. I would do dog shit on stage. I know that. But anyway, so I like that he did different material all three nights that we went, and some of it worked really well. He was getting a lot of like fist bumps and stuff from other open micers afterwards, and
nice.
So he's got to be proud about that.
Yeah, I could see him being really good at stand up if he does put the work in on the material.
I think his thing is he spreads himself too thin with just all his aspirations to be like this multimedia guru guy. He does his hip hop rap stuff. He does this like video production stuff that he tries to do, and he also tries to be a writer, and he tries to be a comedian. Like he tries way too many things, and his focus is not on any one thing. And being a master at one, I don't know. But it was fun. And then what was Friday? We went to Meow Wolf. Fun. I would do it again. I want to do it again.
What is that?
Meow Wolf is like right across the street from Mile High Stadium. It's like an interactive, kind of semi-interactive, like art exhibit experience thing where there's like music going on and different, like it really is just an immersive art experience. And what we didn't know is like there's like this, like you pay $3, like, or they don't tell you have to do this. You can just go to the museum thing and see all this shit. But there's this little place where you can go and buy like this little card reader thing that's hooked up to like a microchip thingy, and as you're going around through all these little exhibit things, there'll be stations where you can like swipe the card and it tells you a story, and you follow the story as you go from place to place to place. And we didn't do that part of the experience because we didn't know that thing even existed. We like saw somebody swiping this card thing and like, what the fuck are you doing? They're like, yeah, there's this card thing that you can do in addition to just going through the exhibit thing. But it was really cool, really fun. I definitely want to do it again. I will do it again. with I got to go buy that card. Bought a bunch of souvenirs. Anyways, we had a good time. The whole week was a blast. It was a blur. But that being said, my plan of going to bed at a reasonable time during the week and then going to work the next morning didn't work out. I just feel wiped out, like zero. And then going back to again, even like a couple weeks back, like I had to work on a Saturday, and then so I only had one real day off, and then a full week of work week, and then you and your parents and I we went to the cabin thing. So that was like there's all this stuff, and then picking up Liza on Monday and a whirlwind of the week, and it's just like I am fucking tapped out. I need to hibernate. Like I need to catch up on sleep. But it was fun. I'm glad we did everything we did. I'm glad he came out. Um, had a good time. Anyway, I babbled on about my week and everything. I hope you guys had a good last couple of weeks. Sorry we didn't have an episode, but hopefully we'll start being on the rig again. Appreciate you watching and listening. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Aaron, is there anything else you wanted to wrap up with at the end? No?
Nope.
Thanks for listening, guys. We hope you appreciate the episode. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.